It might be.
Christmas. Yeah? Am I late?
Yeah.
What? Oh no, Tom's broken. Tom 2025 broken. You've watched your last Grossi stream. Oh no.
Oh, baby. We here. Brandon, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting, Brandon. Brandon, you don't need to tell everybody about that. Brandon, what are you doing? It's 2025, okay? Be better. We're supposed to be better now. You got a bidet to clean it all out. You know, that's just I said
I'm trying to find the guy who said I use my shower as the bidet, and I can't find it.
Hey, I mean, smoke them if you got them. You got to use what is at your
disposal. Poop's always thick here.
Mm-hmm.
Always thick. My poop girth, not a problem.
We here?
Huh? Oh, steer. We steer.
You're in the right direction. Welcome to a 2025 edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is GPS. How long have we been doing this now?
We've made it through 4 regular seasons.
Damn, look at that.
I mean, we got another week of football here, but do we really need 18 weeks of football, 17 games? No, and that's why we're going to be going to 19 weeks of football and 18 games soon. Sooner than we all thought, too, right?
Can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah, can't wait. But a very happy new year to y'all.
Very happy new year, you dumb fucks.
You let them know, Brandon. You let them know.
Just kidding. I only say that because you watch this. So I love you guys.
Hey, New Year's resolution for Brandon. Finish coaching the Sagas. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I got to stream season 3 of Coach. That's the only thing holding me back right now. So I've done 2 seasons of Coach, 1 season of Saga, and then I was gonna do it last Friday, and I couldn't, and I can't do it this Friday because we're doing something. But maybe it's next Friday. I'll do the Coach stream right after GPS. So.
My name is Brandon, and I do things on a Friday now. Look at me.
Hanging out with the family, okay?
I'm in a chair. I have a family with a loving relationship. Nerd. What'd you guys wind up doing for New Year's Eve? Oh, you're going bowling? Is that
taking the kids bowling?
Is that how did you bowl like this? That's
I run like this, and then I
feel like does it work
for you nerds? All of a sudden, the background turns into these streaking lights, and I look like an anime character.
Oh,
strike!
But I thought you don't watch a lot of anime.
Striker. What?
I thought you don't watch a lot of anime.
No, I never watched.
I mean, you love Pokemon, but
yeah.
So in that scenario, you get a side grip of the ball? So like your fingers are your fingers even in the hole?
And it is a 4-pound ball, just like menus.
Okay, so you got a 4-pound menu is what you're saying?
Menus, like real menus. Oh,
I thought you were saying like you've held a 4-pound menu, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of options. Too many.
Go to Denny's, that's what you get.
Well, that's fair. All right, so you got your fingers in the hole in the ball from the side. You're running, and then you're just letting that thing fly like it's a Beyblade. You're letting it rip.
Yeah. My ball curves in the air, and then it drops right on the pins.
Oh, so it just... Wow. Okay. Wow.
Call me the Josh Allen of bowling.
Oh, okay. What's your high score?
I don't know. Probably like a 180s or something would be my guess.
That's probably. I think that's my highest I've ever.
I haven't bowled in like 5-6 years.
Yeah, that's fair. I have not gone bowling in a long time. It's been a while. But happy 2025, everybody.
Yeah.
We got some stuff to talk about today. We're heading into the final week of the regular NFL season, which is pretty insane. There's a lot on the line. There's 2 games on Saturday, including the primetime between the Steelers and the Bengals. You got, of course, the Lions and the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. We'll be talking about that. We'll also talk about Monday Night Football and that recap of that 49ers game where all the defenses were like, we're done, except for Kirby Joseph. Except for Kirby Joseph.
Yeah.
Did you wind up watching that game?
Yeah, I watched that game.
That's it. That's all I had question for you is if you watched it. Yeah. Okay. All right. And that's it.
I get primetime Lions.
New Year.
Primetime Bills. I watch. Yeah, I mean, dude, the Lions are they're going to be fun, I think, to watch in the playoffs because their defense is, we know the injuries. It's got though. And it was like every pass Brock Purdy completed was to the most open ball catcher. It's either Ricky Pearsall was wide open, George Kittle was wide open. Juwan Jennings was blocking guys until they were out of the stadium. He was like, his throws were so easy. And that's why it was so perplexing to me that he threw 2 fucking picks.
One of them was literally
choose the guy that was open, Brock. Because I know somebody was open somewhere.
Opinion on the college games today. I want to see them live stream a final exam. That's what I want to see. All right. Oh, it's so exciting. The action on the field. What about the classroom?
Yeah.
Okay. What about a gymnasium with no air conditioning and there's just hundreds of students taking a test? That's what I want to see.
Star player has to live stream their final exam.
Exactly.
Did you put in the work up here? Huh?
Before you could put it here, got to put it in here. Okay. Think about that.
Our most powerful tool to succeed.
That brings us to our sponsor today. Reading.
Book on phonics. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get through that phonics.
Hey, buddy. I know it's
wait till I learn to read right.
It's not the easiest, but if Brandon can learn to read in 2025, I don't know if I can. I might need it 2026 as well. You can too.
As soon as I can read good, you guys are fucked. Woo, wait till I get strategery going over here. Yeah, Pat Surtain. I think it was in the recap episode. It was so funny. It was like it was a mind meld moment where sometimes like will write something that I'd been thinking about, and Nick Bonito had been getting so much attention. You're like, ooh, another big game. Maybe he's defensive player of the year. But that week, I was like, you know what? It's like, it's still Pat Surtain is the best player on the Broncos defense. No matter what Nick Bonito's been doing, like Surtain's the dude. He should be in the conversation for defensive player of the year. And then in the episode, it was like Will wrote, and the rightful defensive player of the year, Pat Surtain. I was like, that is exactly what I wanted. Because, you know, that Bengals game, he locked down Jamar Chase. And he's done it to any receiver he's really played this year. So we'll see. Maybe a pick 6 seals it for him this week. I don't know.
Important question. So how long have you been cheating on me with Dude Dad? You know, I saw the skit. You looked like you guys were having a lot of fun. You know, it looked like you guys had been known each other for a long time. You know,
he lives in Colorado, like I told you to come live at.
No, it's fine. Like you know, you said you'd marry Scooter, you know, and not me. It's fine. It's fine. Now you're doing
move to Colorado so I can marry Scooter, huh, Tom?
It's fine. It's fine, Brandon. My New Year's resolution is not to get jealous in 2025. So I'm crushing it. Okay.
Yeah. We need to strive to be like Dude Dad. He's got his S locked down. He's got a studio,
in his
really
home
organized. He's got, he can build stuff too. Built a roller coaster in his backyard for his kids, which is really cool.
Yo, he's got a roller coaster. I'll go hang out with him.
Yeah, he built like a roller coaster thing.
Did you ride it?
No. He was like, "Do you want to ride it?" I was like, "Yes." And then we got too busy making the video.
Were you not tall enough?
We'll go back up there. I'll bring Carm so she can ride it. You know?
Yeah.
I was really impressed. I was like, man, this is what it's like when you got your shit together.
All right, if you build a roller coaster, you got it locked down. You know, that's just that's the engineering that's taking that. Yeah, that's, you know what?
Yeah. No, but I loved how the videos like, you're cheating on Tom, you're cheating on Tom, you're cheating on Tom.
Yeah, no, I'm glad they know. You know, it's you know, I don't think we should shame folks, but the Scarlet Letter, we should bring it back. That's all. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. So it should be good. Pretty good.
Scarlet Letter.
Yeah, it's just it's fine. It's fine.
What was it? An A she had to wear?
Yes. Yeah. So
you're
gonna wear a C for Chiefs.
Doing anal? Is that what it was?
Close. Adultery is.
Adultery. That's
right. Yeah.
So, like, we can't believe they let us read that in high school.
Yeah.
We're gonna beat them, Arthur. Yes, we are.
Hey, that's right. Yeah, real quick, I just want to go to that 49ers Lions game. It was a fun game to watch, and then the 49ers just couldn't keep up and, you know, throwing interceptions. Again, Kirby Joseph being that entire defense. But I think a lot of the discourse was, coming out of this game, the Lions defense, like, that's going to be a liability. It feels like it got a lot louder after Monday. And maybe I'm missing the boat here. I'm not overly concerned still.
No, I think they'll just fucking outscore you.
Yeah, like, because they'll score, because there are, I don't know how many teams are going to be able to just go toe-to-toe with them on offense, you know, unless they have like a lockdown defense. So I'm looking at like the Eagles, maybe the Vikings. We'll see what happens on Sunday. The interesting thing is the Vikings are looking so good coming off that game against the Packers, and the Lions, like, okay, maybe there's a little wiggle room. There's potential. Like, if the Vikings get the 1 seed with Sam Darnold, win the division, holy crap. Like, I will say this as a Packers fan, Kevin O'Connell has to be coach of the year. Like, if you are getting the 1 seed after it was, hey, our quarterback we just drafted is going down, and they deserve that.
He's done a hell of a job.
I hope they go one and done and they lose 57-0 in the playoffs, but he deserves that one. That clip is longer. Why is it so long? Why is the clip?
That's the broadcast did that. I've never scrambled so hard to record something off my television. I was in the process of like trying to shoot the last part. What's that?
Was that you giggling in the background?
I was like, oh my, wait, did they really just do that? The best part, it's not even in there. It was Joe Buck and Troy Aikman like react. Like Joe Buck was like, oh God, why did they show this? You could tell them, like, you could tell they knew this was going to get passed around fast. And I think I got it up first, if I'm being very honest.
Hey,
I posted it on Instagram.
Men at your age,
what?
What'd you say? I said that's awesome, dude. Yeah.
No, what'd you say?
What? Just like,
huh?
I'm just saying, you know, men at your age sometimes. I love how you hear yourself giggling in the background. You're 8 years old and you're like, this is going to be a great, because as soon as it happened, my chat was just like, Perna just got gold. Like, Perna was just, but it was before you even posted it. It was just like, this is going in a Brandon Perna video. So I'm glad that your brand is far reaching.
It is by far.
Maybe Brandon could do it, Patrick. Who knows? Continue.
Oh yeah, no. Dad knows him.
Oh, they're great. Friends. Maybe the three of you. Maybe the three of you could ride the roller coaster together.
I think we got to do a 4-way collab there.
It's fine.
Broncos versus Packers.
Oh yeah.
72.1 thousand shares of that clip on Instagram.
Look at you.
I have nothing to do with it. That is not me. I did not make a creative or funny video.
You made that.
That is just aggregation, and I will never top that, probably.
Sure, yeah.
But it's just his face, obvious. Like, he's rolling out a cramp, but he's got his tongue out, and when you're rolling out a cramp, it hurts. I understand why he's making that face.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever is the director of the broadcast, that's who needs to be on the Super Bowl. That broadcast crew is by far the best in the business. Identifying that situation, that shot, putting it on TV for all of us to consume. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Perna got a hundo.
Oh my God! You lived up to your word, Andrew. I do remember that.
Perna's so surprised because he's just like, I've lost bets, and we just.
I do remember, Andrew, because early on, after like the first 3 weeks, I was like, uh-oh.
This could be.
We might lose. Andrew, you're a man of your word.
Johnny John John!
Seriously, I think we got to stop messing around. Like, we have to actually try to get John Elway on this show.
Yeah, fair enough. You know who I want to talk to?
Tell me.
Noah Eagle.
Your dad? What?
Well, yeah, Dude Dad will come on whenever.
Yeah, of course. You know, you guys are best bros, so you guys are,
we text all the time now. It's great. He's a big Broncos fan. We talk ball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Continue. No, what would be great?
He texts me like I know more about the Broncos, and in reality, he's more up to speed than I am. You know, like, what's going on with this? And then I'll like Google it and be like,
yeah, what's happening.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
It's true, Peyton. It's true. Who do you want to talk to?
Noah Eagle.
Oh, okay. All right. Particularly,
he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good in the booth.
Yeah, I agree.
I like him. I think he'd be fun to talk to. And I think he'd be gettable. What else he got going on? He works 1 day a week. Easy. Let me call my one NFL game and then have 6 days off.
That's that's the best way to try and get a guest. What else are you doing? You have nothing but free time. Why are you on my show?
Maybe more if you're doing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like him. I'm a Noah Eagle fan.
There you go. Okay.
Get
that.
What else were you gonna? Oh, this Lions 49ers game. Okay. Because the only team who like really proven they can outscore the Lions, the Bills, right? What was that? Yeah, he's young and he's fucking very good at what he does too. The Bills, what was that game? 48-42 when Buffalo and Detroit played.
Oh, yeah, when they were like scoring a cajillion. Yeah, Jared Goff had like a cajillion yards.
48-42. We're like, that's the Super Bowl we want to see. And I think the difference is like the Bills defense can actually stop the Lions 1 or 2 times. And that's really like
all you have to do.
This is the Lions offense right now. It's one of the best offenses we've watched in like the last decade in terms of they just if something's not working, like if their passing game's a little slow, get Jahmyr Gibbs the ball. And honestly, right now, Gibbs getting more touches, not a bad thing for the Lions. Sam Laporta, I think they're using him more effectively now than they were early in the season. It was like he's kind of having a slow year. Amon-Ra's just your solid, your reliable receiver. Third down, go to Amon-Ra. And really what's opening it up is Jameson Williams been pretty good, pretty explosive. And I think they got the 49ers kind of like best effort. The Niners wanted to win that game. They wanted to upset them. The Fred Warner like pregame speech, like, okay, they want to go out and they want to play. And we forget, like, because the Niners have had a disappointing season. When their offense is working, they're a very good football team, right? Like George Kittle, he's tough to defend. It looks like Ricky Pearsall's going to be good. They're running well. So it's not like they were playing, I don't know, Jacksonville, and Jacksonville was scoring all those points on them on Monday Night Football. It's San Francisco, and I don't think San Francisco's. I think this was the last game they're going to try for the season. But it all just boiled down to like you have to outscore Detroit. And I don't know how many teams can actually do it. And you alluded to it. The Vikings might be one of those teams, and we'll find out Sunday night. But they're a fun football team to watch. And if we can get a team, if the Lions go to the Super Bowl and we can get a team that can score, like a Bengals-Lions Super Bowl at this point, might be the most entertaining one you can draw.
No defenses, both gatos. Somebody's going to win a Super Bowl.
Maybe it would be the first Super Bowl where both teams score over 50 points.
Yeah.
I don't think That's Good Perna is part of the code.
That's bad Perna.
Underdog calls me up. Like, people keep trying to write in that's bad Perna, and it's not working.
It's a disciplinary thing. Yeah.
Code.
Yeah.
Anyway, that game was fun. Here's my bold prediction. I have one bold prediction. Dolphins are going to win Sunday morning, and the Bengals are going to be screwed no matter what happens in the Broncos game.
Oh, I don't even know.
When did the Dolphins play in the morning slate, or did they play at the same time as the Broncos?
No, they're the same time. They're Dolphins. Dolphins Jets. I think they're the late.
They are afternoon. Oh, damn it!
Yeah, the late window. So we'll find out at the same time.
Dolphins they're going to win. Like, the Bengals are going to be screwed twice. The Dolphins will win and the Broncos will win.
It was nice of the NFL to be like, here's one more primetime game for Joe Burrow before you don't see him until September. But the Bengals need to win. They need the Dolphins to lose against the Jets, which, did you see the Jets? I mean, but hey, maybe Tyrod Taylor is going to will them to victory. He's playing better than Aaron Rodgers. And then you also need the Broncos to lose to the Chiefs.
The Dolphins are like the forgotten team. Dude, the Dolphins are so forgettable right now that I put them as my team in purgatory last week.
Yep.
In power rankings. And then I put them in purgatory again this week without remembering that I had them there last week. And then I was editing it this morning and I was like, wait a second. Did I kind of already do this? I was like, oh, they are like, nobody's talking about the Dolphins. Like, it's the Broncos. Can they win to get in?
Yep.
Or the Bengals?
Well, I think it's also because Tua was out. Like last week's game against the Browns, it was kind of like,
and the Tyler Huntley start came in kind of last minute last week, but he played fine.
Yeah.
Come on, rah.
It to be fair,
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It came in late. It did come in late. To be fair,
that's like, I'm sure Dolphins fans were like, "Oh shit, we've got Huntley going," but nobody else was like, "Oh, what?" It was a hip injury too. I was like, "Where does hip injury come from?" I know it showed up late on the practice report, but
so last night I was streaming and folks were like, "You have to check out the Tyreek Hill tweet." And I was like, "What Tyreek Hill tweet?" So I go and I check, and he's like,
"Raw dog."
No, he's like, "Happy New Year's, especially to the Chiefs." And people are reading that of like, "Oh man, like he wants to go to the Chiefs, like all this stuff." And I was like, "Oh, like that's not great." I was like, "That's not great for two." And then I was like, so the chat goes, "No, they need the Chiefs to beat the Broncos again." And I was like, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But legit, to your credit, the exact point that you just made, I wasn't even thinking for the Dolphins to get into the playoffs because I know it's possible still. But it seems like they're another team, like they're just waiting, to see what's going on with the Broncos-Chiefs game. And I feel like while the Dolphins had a much better December, they didn't do too bad last December. They had a good December this year. I feel like people already wrote off the Dolphins.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because it was kind of like, okay, we're not seeing anything, so let's move on. They're still fighting.
Yeah, and it's not fair to the Dolphins. I'm not saying like I feel that way. I'm just saying like they seem like the most irrelevant team that's still in it, sandwiched between, two other teams that people are talking about. And I know most people want the Bengals in over the Broncos. It's just been, I've heard so much of like, yeah, the Broncos getting in would be nice, but everybody really wants to see, and it just comes down to Joe Burrow. Like people want to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs, and rightfully so. He's that good. But I would also argue like the Broncos play just as entertaining football as the Bengals. They keep losing these close games to teams that are better than them, but like the Bengals game, all the way to the end of overtime. The Chargers game was crazy. The Browns game, that was wild. Like,
yeah,
the Broncos get in. They might not win, but it's probably going to be a weird game. Anyway, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of love, Miami.
Yeah.
But what if the Steelers just beat the Bengals on Saturday?
Yep. Then it's just, okay, it's going to be the Dolphins or the Broncos, and that's it.
Because the Steelers need to win, too. Not to get in, but they need to get something going before they go into the postseason.
Well, I mean, if the Browns can upset the Ravens, and then we'll find out, because the AFC North is still up for grabs.
Yeah.
If the Ravens wind up winning in that early window game on Saturday, then, they're going to wind up getting the North. But if they lose it, the Steelers still have an opportunity to clinch the North.
Yeah.
But I think Steelers fans, also just the Steelers team, pretty down on the Steelers right now.
Yeah.
They are. We know they are going to go through a gauntlet, but they're kind of limping into the playoffs. So they need something.
Yeah.
They need
to prove to themselves that they can win a competitive game right now.
Yeah, they just need to get a win, and again, we'll see what happens in the postseason.
They're in the same spot as the Broncos. It's not like me trying to, say the Steelers aren't that good. It's, hey, you've played these good teams. You haven't looked good for 2 weeks. Here comes the playoffs. Win this and the Broncos, unfortunately, they're getting the Chiefs B squad. So they'll probably win, but it's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, that's fair. That's very, very fair. I'm not going to lie, Xavier. I want to see him get it. Against the Giants, I want to see him get it.
Yeah, I want to see him get it, but I don't think he should.
Because he's a little over 100 yards away.
Let me put on the boomer hat. It ain't a real record if he does it in 17 games, Tom.
Listen, I won't argue with you. I won't argue with you.
And I talk about him today, but and what
Very
Saquon's done is impressive.
Very possible.
And it actually, I was looking at all the 2,000-yard rushers. I was like, how many receiving yards does Saquon Barkley have? There's like 280, I think, 287 or something. I was like, that's impressive because it's, 2,200 yards of scrimmage for Saquon. Yeah. And then I was like, holy fuck, Chris Johnson had 2,000 yards and 500 receiving yards.
Y2K, baby.
I'm like, man, I want to go back and re-look at what Chris Johnson did that season, which is the record for most scrimmage yards by a single player, is the Chris Johnson 2,500 plus. And then I think McCaffrey's top 3 from last year, was it? And then I think Eric Dickerson's still top 3, maybe.
Yeah.
But
so this is a good point. Like, if he's able to do it, yeah, if he does it in fewer attempts, then I'm like, yeah, that I completely agree with.
Yeah, and he has the third fewest attempts, I believe, to get to 2,000 as well. So what he's done is wildly impressive. It's also just like the Eagles. Do you risk it though? Because once they're getting to 2,000 is the thing. Like that for a running back, that's the thing. Yeah. They're already got a injured Jalen Hurts. He's arguably their most important player.
Correct, Noah.
I don't think he'll get injured, but why risk it? And it's like running back's not a that's a good position to rest too, right? Like, I don't know. It's a tough decision. So we'll see what they do. Either way, it'll be cool.
No record has counted after the 1960s.
Yeah.
It's the only era of football that counts. It's the 1960s. Yeah. Whoever won, let's just say, the first and second Super Bowl are the champions of the world. Forever.
I'll start counting records again when they bring back the forearm shiver, Tom. When they bring back the head slap, then I'll start counting some of these soft ass PC records these players are cranking out. Mm-hmm. And we go back down to a 10-game season.
That's what I'm talking about. Back in the day, we had these players working as construction workers, and then
and we pay these guys minimum wage.
Let's go, Paul Warning. Literally doing multiple jobs. He's going off to fight in war and coming back on the weekend and is like, all right, let me run this ball. So,
here's a new rule. You want to sit out in the concussion protocol? Guess what? You foot the medical bill that week. Now we're talking.
Thoughts on the Lions having 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs, all with 1,000.
It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like,
their offense is wild.
So good.
Yeah,
and David Montgomery hasn't played for a couple weeks.
Ben Johnson's going to get paid a lot of money. Like, he's going to get paid a lot of money.
If I'm Ben Johnson, I don't leave. I don't leave that situation. I know he's going to. I know Bears fans would kill to get Ben Johnson. I know. But if you look at the Chiefs right now, like,
very fair.
With what Spags is doing, he's not going anywhere. Like, you got the head coach, you got the offense, you will have that opportunity whenever you want. Just ride that glory train for a while. Is the glory train a thing? Just sit there, just enjoy it. Do not leave, Ben. You've got it made. Ask for a raise, get another raise. Do what you do best, then leave. The situation's so good in Detroit. Don't leave it, Ben Johnson. Don't.
Bears playing their starters. The Packers are going to be playing their starters. After what happened against the Vikings. No, I think the Packers are going to be playing their starters. So Go ahead, Bears. Play your starters too. Let's rock. Week 18. Let's try it. Because the Packers are still playing for something. You know, if the Commanders wind up winning, the Commanders, they're going to clinch the 6th seed. But if the Commanders somehow lose to the Cowboys and the Packers win, the Packers move up to the 6th seed. So I don't want to see the Vikings, Steven. I don't want to see the Vikings. I really don't.
No, nobody does.
Oh, also, speaking of amazing running backs, Ezekiel Elliott is getting waived by the Cowboys. That's Cowboys.
Before, why did they waive him? Is there any reason behind it? Does Zeke think he can go join a playoff team right now? Like,
in? They went all in, my friend. They went all in.
I didn't read why. Is that why? To give him an opportunity to sign somewhere?
Because he requested it, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, he has to be cut.
Yeah,
I do not want to play one more week for this team. Okay. Fine.
So they cut Zeke to give him a chance at the playoffs, is what the headline is. Out of respect and appreciation for Zeke wanting to provide him an opportunity to pursue any potential playoff participation possible, we're releasing him from the Cowboys roster today. So there you go.
Who needs Zeke, though?
It's a great question. I think it's
it'd be funny if the Eagles signed him. If the Eagles signed him and then they played him this week, they just started him this week.
Honestly, it'd be
show that he could run for 100 yards still.
That'd be pretty incredible. No, I still think Jamar Chase is amazing, but I think Saquon still for the season he's having offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Kyle. That's like, it's you come back and you go, okay, here's what I did. Now you can get the ball. If you haven't gone, you haven't fought, then nope. Sorry.
Your bye week, you're going to serve this country.
That's right. That's right. Right in the middle of the week. It's fine. And if you have Thursday night football, it's no excuse.
How about the Cowboys cut Micah Parsons so he can go play for the Lions?
No. Ew.
That'd be nice.
No.
Cut Micah.
No.
Go play for Detroit.
No.
Somebody cut like a linebacker or a corner that can join the Lions.
Just a body to be in the way.
Cut Deron Bland. Let him go jump on the Lions squad for a minute.
If the Falcons, they don't make it, right? What's Judon doing? Just send him over there. It's fine. It's fine. Fine. Yeah, so this is what makes it tough. I'm going to be recording predictions after this. And I was like, there could be a ton of teams that are resting their starters, which throws this all out of whack. The Bills, they said they're going to kind of do this blend where they're going to start some guys.
They're not going to Josh to keep his streak going or whatever.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. So Rams recording. Yeah, it makes sense. So see in Tampa, bro, Packers they got to get the 6th seed. They got to get the 6th seed.
Yeah. It's like a glorified bye week for a lot of these teams that are clinched right now.
It is. Yeah. The thing is we've seen the Seahawks go toe-to-toe with the Minnesota Vikings, and then we've seen them score 6 points against the Bears.
Yeah.
So which Seahawks team are we going to see?
I don't know if they have an identity right now.
Bad. I mean, out of the playoffs, eliminated. That's probably be the identity at this point. Oh yeah, Bears returned some of their tickets. I am not surprised. It is at Lambeau.
I don't want that.
Have nothing to play for but pride. I don't doubt. But hey, you want to go see a division rival game? Now's the time to do it. So, Jaguars, maybe a little Trent Baalke, maybe gone. Maybe a little head coach gone. Antonio Pierce, we'll kind of see what happens with him with the Raiders.
Oh, he gone. I think he gone.
He's gonna be gone. The big question was Mayo. And if they release Mayo, they hire Mayo, or if they give him one more year. I was asked this last night, and I was like, I'm leaning because of who the Patriots organization is that they give him another year.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't think he's the guy, move on now. And you got a guy who probably wants to come back there, and Mike Vrabel. I think he would love to take that job.
I love Vrabel in New England.
Sean, you know the deal. And I reaffirmed this in my Power Rankings promo today. You get me my 10,000 signups, I will go there. I will go to and you're not going to three-peat, so it's not even going to be a thing.
So what happens if you get it, but then the Chiefs don't three-peat?
Then I'm got a good thing going, Tom. I got a good thing going.
What if there's no consequences? You get all the benefits.
Okay, if they don't three-peat, then I go visit Chiefsaholic in prison. I sit down, I have a conversation with Chiefsaholic. That's the trade-off.
You're like, I feel like there's not a documentary about you. I want to make one, and just for the YouTube channel.
I just burned through Mayors of Kingstown, and I think I'm ready to talk to an inmate. So all right. So let's just be clear. If you get that, you're gonna go and have a one-on-one conversation with Chiefsaholic. Yeah. What prison is he in?
I didn't watch the documentary. I don't know.
Be like, dude, why'd you do it?
I don't think so, G. Montgomery could come back. That's it. And he just goes, money. And you go, okay. And then you leave. That's it.
And I'd be like, I don't know what I'd ask him. I would talk to that dude. What was the thought process behind this?
Hey, listen.
And how did you do it so well for so long? You were getting away with that shit for a while, dude.
Is Aaron Rodgers starting? Let's see. Jets name. Hold on.
Yeah, Rodgers benched himself, right?
Yeah.
That came out.
All right. Despite this, does expect Rodgers to start at quarterback.
Oh, good. So they will lose.
Oh boy, is this the last game we see of Aaron Rodgers play in his career?
I feel like it should be. Rodgers has a tough decision because this is not how he wants to end his career, obviously.
Correct.
He is definitely declining. He's still not the worst quarterback in the league.
No.
He got what he wanted with his friend Devontae Adams coming over. He had weapons. Like you could say, okay, the Jets were losing. Their defense took a step back, but at least their offense was still good. It wasn't that good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like if you were saying that, if you're saying, oh, their offense scoring 30 plus points a game, they're just losing. Like that
did not happen either.
Like I think Panthers fans are more excited about Bryce Young next year than the Jets would be with Aaron Rodgers coming back, and he's a Hall of Famer. He's just at that spot in his career where he doesn't really want to let go. I don't think this is how he wants to go out. I don't think this is how any of us wanted to see Aaron Rodgers end his career. Like when he went to the Jets, it's like, okay, that's cool. That's a good situation for him. It's a good situation. Well, we were like, maybe the Packers fucked up. Like who's Jordan Love? But I don't know. I just don't think he has it in him anymore. The same thing with Kirk Cousins. Those injuries they're hard to come back from. And Rodgers a lot older than Cousins.
The lack of mobility is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Honestly, K-Right, I think the Patriots are getting it because the Giants gifted it to them All the Patriots have to do is lose.
Yeah.
Play
and
tough.
it's a good spot for New England to be
All you
in.
have to do is lose.
They've got a lot of holes. You can trade.
They got to trade down.
Capital.
Trade down that one spot. Get as much as you can for that offense. And rocking.
Or you just take the guy you want there. Like, it depends. But, you know. We'll see what Rodgers does. But I mean, the Jets got to. I think Rodgers' decision is going to come down to who they hire as their head coach. And the Jets right now, I put it in the thumbnail. We know it came up Monday. They might interview Ron Rivera. That is true. They are interviewing Ron Rivera tomorrow. The New York Jets looked at Ron Rivera's last season in Washington and said, "We want some of that shit. Let's smoke us a big old fat blunt of Ron Rivera and get high on this offseason, baby." Now, maybe they're just going to talk to a guy who has a ton of NFL experience.
Sure.
Feel it out. And Monday, I don't think I said this. When I saw Ron Rivera Jets, I was like, oh, maybe they're going to bring him in as a consultant. No, they're interviewing for head coach. I was like, having Ron Rivera in your organization, that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Sure. Like you said, ton of experience.
But like Rodgers, I think he's past his coaching prime. Then I don't think this has been confirmed yet, but Rex Ryan says he intends to talk to the Jets.
Let's go.
So right now, the Jets fans are like, Ron Rivera or Rex Ryan?
Co-head coaches, let's go. Let's bring in a triumvirate.
Fuck?
Who else can we bring in? Adam Gase? Let's bring him back. Come on. The triumvirate for the New York Jets. Bring him in. Ron Rivera, Adam Gase. Come on.
And their other option at this point is...
Now be their Super Bowl and we'll actually still be going to playoffs.
They're not going to interview John Gruden, but John Gruden becoming a name who might get some interviews in this coaching cycle. And honestly, Rex Ryan, Ron Rivera, John Gruden, if those say are your three options for the Jets,
good God, the horsemen, the apocalypse.
I think I go Gruden.
Could you imagine just putting Gruden and Aaron Rodgers in a room?
Oh my God.
Just putting a camera on and just letting it go.
Yeah.
Letting it go. You could live stream that. Would make millions. This is a great question, AJ. I am of the opinion that the Giants shouldn't fire Dable. I think he's a good coach. While, of course, you haven't gotten what you wanted, the Giants came into the season, and I think everybody and their mother expected them to be pretty awful. And as of last week, before they played their game, they had the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
So I think you get Dable, the quarterback that he wants. You know, he was able to take Daniel Jones, very much propped up by Saquon Barkley in a good run game, and able to win a playoff game against the Vikings.
Yeah.
So I think you keep him for another year. I understand why Giants fans can be like, nope, just throw them all out, get rid of GM, get rid of head coach. I get it. And that might wind up happening, but I think you keep Dable.
Yeah, I think it's Joe Shane is the real question mark, right? For the
Yes,
Giants.
that is the question about Shane. Shane, I could see them potentially walking away from, but William, that's it. It's great. It's great. How many?
Yeah.
How many bank robbers?
Yeah, how many?
It's true.
But I think Dable's a good coach, and I think
all of them.
If you're the Giants, you want to see what he can do with maybe a quarterback he can develop. Now, the Giants might have to be a team that has to trade with the Patriots, though, to get the quarterback they want. And while I don't even think this draft actually has a quarterback who is a number 1 overall pick quarterback, you got to assume, unless they found their guy in Drew Lock.
Yeah. But, that'd actually be hysterical if all three just lost, like the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Broncos just got in because everybody loses.
That would be the funniest scenario.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, the last time the Broncos lost 3 and went into the playoffs, Tim Tebow led us to victory over the Steelers. FCI, Greenville Prison, and Illinois. I've never been to Illinois.
Hey,
Dude, I'll go there. I'll go say hi to Johnny Barks.
I think that's where Matt Eberflus is right now, too.
In Illinois?
No, in prison.
Oh.
Yeah, because, they didn't call that timeout. So when it was about to be New Year's, the chat was filled with Eberflus or Raheem Morris, use your timeout to stop 2025.
Yeah.
It was glorious.
I looked back at the Raheem Morris thing, and I made fun of him, too, for that.
As you should.
But that's,
Nope.
That's not exactly why they lost, but
it's not why they lost. No, but it
would have gotten them an extra play or two, and they still had the same opportunity. They just, they missed the kick.
Yeah, it was not good.
Could have got a little closer, maybe, but it's not good. That one's not quite as bad as Eberflus, but
Eberflus still top notch.
The Eberflus one might be the worst into game management ever.
Biggest upset? I think it's gonna be one of these teams that
Steelers over Bengals. That's my other bold prediction.
You could do Steelers over Bengals. It'll be like one of the other teams that maybe is not starting a lot of starters.
Yeah, I think the Steelers winning is the biggest upset likely to happen. And I don't even necessarily want to see that happen, because if the Broncos don't win, I do want the Bengals in the playoffs. Bills-Bengals round 1, that's a great football game.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the perfect cherry on top of this weird season for Cincinnati is them fighting their way back to having a chance, knowing they need some help to get in, and then they themselves taking them out of the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think Bengals fans, correct me if I'm wrong, might want to see them lose this game, because there are other changes I think they want to see happen in this organization that won't happen if they win and they get in. They don't want the ghosts.
Zachy boy.
Yeah. It's that, or it's
Aaron Rodgers, by the way, Ryan. Aaron Rodgers would be.
Continue. I don't know, man.
I think there's definitely still a want of, I want to see my team in the playoffs, even if the Bengals can't go to the Super Bowl because of that defense. But dude, it just sucks. And as Bengals fans will tell you, it's difficult to get back to the Super Bowl. And Dan Campbell talked about this last year when they made it to the NFC Championship game. It is so difficult to get back unless you're the Chiefs, apparently. But to be able to do that year after year, and there are more injuries, there's more tape, the division gets better. Look at the Lions, right? We thought that this was going to be between the Lions and the Packers this season for the NFC North, and the Vikings are fighting for the 1 seed. Who the hell expected that? Not Vikings fans, not me. Yep. So it gets tougher and tougher. And unfortunately, when you don't have a defense or your offensive line is not so good, and you're having an amazing season from a couple of players, and you don't get there, it's that's going to be really difficult to replicate next year. Yeah. Hey.
No, and Campbell's right. But the Lions, with one of the worst scenarios you could draw up, are still there, and they figured out how to win while having half their defense gone. So I think there is a lot of truth to that, mindset and willing yourself to victory no matter who you got out there. And it's the Lions, do you look at something to this offseason to try and stay healthier? Some of their injuries though are just so freak, Hutchinson's injury, your training staff, your medical staff, you can't prevent that. Nope. Even Carlton Davis, he broke his fucking jaw a couple weeks ago. That's not and I relate to that because we had that conversation in Denver. It's why are there so many injuries happening? Do we need a different training regimen or whatever? Now we're very healthy. We're one of the healthiest teams right now. A little bit of luck. Maybe there's something you can do to avoid some injuries, but you just don't know. My other bold prediction, Chiefs are 1 and done in the playoffs. Yeah, I'm going to say it. 1 and done, Kansas City. I will be talking to your best criminal, so 1 and done.
Yes, Rodgers would still be a Hall of Famer if Green Bay didn't win the Super Bowl. And I know that, especially if you're newer to football or didn't watch Aaron Rodgers' career, I know I'm a Packers fan. As someone who got to watch every single Aaron Rodgers game, Prime Aaron, legitimately, like there is an argument that he is the best QB to ever play the game. There's an argument that I think can be made. Like the level of talent, the lack of interceptions that were thrown, like he's put together seasons that I don't know if they're ever going to be replicated. And I know this sounds that I'm just like, standing for Aaron Rodgers.
Will do it.
But holy crap. Like he was an incredible quarterback. Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I think like if you're talking about like the best quarterbacks ever, I don't think there is one best quarterback ever. I think all of these great quarterbacks, they have some stretches where you're saying this is the best quarterback on planet Earth, right? Mm-hmm. I watched that with Peyton Manning. I was like, there's nobody as good as him. You saw it with Tom Brady.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers had that same run and that same streak where it's just like, oh my God, it's the arm talent. It's the decision making.
Yep.
It was Rodgers. What he could do that Manning and Brady never really could do is extend plays.
Yep.
With and he was never like the fastest, but he was more athletic than both Manning and Brady. And he did it to just he extended plays to make crazy throws.
Look at all the Hail Marys.
It was Aaron Rodgers earned like my respect as a football fan to go, I have to watch this guy play as much as possible. And then he won 2 MVPs late in his career. Brady had that resurgence late as well. Manning got that late with the Broncos when, they had the highest scoring offense ever. He threw the 55 touchdowns, and it was more cerebral based than like physical talent with Manning. We have watched Patrick Mahomes go through his streak where you're like, there's nobody on planet Earth as good as him at quarterback. Mm-hmm. And he's still, right now, he's not in that window. He could be again, but the way the Chiefs are playing offense, it's like, oh yeah, you can say that Josh Allen
don't need him
right now. You can say Lamar's better. He's top 5. So you get these windows, and I think you got to enjoy it while you have it. And when it's been a while, when you're a quarterback who plays as long as Rodgers, people forget about that shit. You're right. Like Peyton Manning, it happened to him. 2015, he was so broken down.
They dragged him.
People like, that guy was a terrible quarterback for his whole career. Rodgers right now, people be like, that guy sucked. Yep. And it's not fair to their legacy because the last thing they do is all you fucking remember.
Yep.
That's why you got to retire right on. And like, credit Brady. He went out. Well, after a pretty good season, you're like, yes, he's not Brady, but like, and he held on maybe one. If he would have just retired after the Super Bowl,
and right off into the sunset,
he was chasing records too.
Yeah.
But like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Rodgers was so good.
Coffee with a fitty for the kitty. Hey, let's go. Yeah, side of hustle. Yeah, all that chaotic good, baby. All that chaotic good. Come on now. And I got you.
Let's wait. That's my girl.
Dude, that was just moments before reality slapped me in the face, Tom. That was Sunday, Russell Wilson's NFL debut day. I was gearing up for the grind of a full season. Let's ride. I was excited. I was like, this is going to be it, baby.
Let's ride.
My whole mindset was I can get some growth on YouTube now that the Denver Broncos are going to have a competitive and good football team again.
What if Russell Wilson kind of sucks?
Boy, was I had the greatest growth of my career, but it was for the opposite reason I intended.
Yep. Nope.
But I was very hopeful then. Very hopeful.
Men at that age again.
Yeah.
Redbeard, which is why, like, if Lamar Jackson wins MVP, it is well earned. It is well. And I know, like, we are Josh Allen, Saquon, like Lamar. At the end of the day, like, you give it to either of those 3 guys, I'm like, yeah, every single one of those guys has earned it. Yeah. Lamar is having a better year than he did last year. You're having a better year besides rushing touchdowns against Josh Allen, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was from heading into last week. And then Saquon. Again, I think CMC could have gotten MVP last year, and I would not have batted an eye. I've been like, okay, that was well earned.
This year's MVP race is a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Because there are so many guys playing out of their mind. Last year was like, there's a lot of guys who are really good, but I think McCaffrey's better than any of the or more important than any of the quarterbacks. And actually, like, if you look at this season for the Niners, it might help McCaffrey's case.
Sure. I mean, because then it's always that, okay, how are we defining it? And again, we are defining it differently than journalists who are going to be voting for the MVP award, right? Because Joe Burrow is having a phenomenal year, literally is the most valuable player on that team. So, and Saad, yes. I think it comes down to press. It comes down to who's getting the most publicity, who is getting talked about the most. A couple weeks ago, you go, it's Josh Allen's to lose, right? People kind of moved on from Lamar Jackson, or at least the narrative moved on from Lamar Jackson. But Lamar keeps on having good games as well. So I think when you have, Humphrey's having a great year. He's having a fantastic year.
Yeah.
But again, it depends on who's talked about. You have folks that are having great years that are on small market teams, or if they're just not getting a ton of publicity. Like, I'm glad that Brock Bowers was able to break free from the media cloud that was hovering over the Raiders and be like, hey, even though this team is really bad, this one guy is doing really well. Brian Thomas Jr., phenomenal on the Jaguars. Jaguars are a bad football team, is doing really well. I think you also have a narrative that the Ravens defense is bad, right? And they have been playing better, 1,000,000%. And he's one of the reasons why, but people are still rolling with those narratives.
Yeah. So. I mean, maybe Marlon Humphrey is playing at that level, but you're right. Maybe I don't think the media hates the Ravens. I think Ravens fans got to do a better job at hyping up Marlon Humphrey. And you're doing your part right there. But I haven't heard a single person say Marlon Humphrey is having the greatest season by a corner ever.
We were talking about him a lot on Christmas.
But
he's having
awesome I'm not saying he's not playing great. I'm just saying that I think there is truth to the media and the attention they give certain players affects their chances of winning. Corners are hard, though. That's the other thing. Like, a corner who's playing really well is the most invisible person on the football field.
Because they won't target it. Like, quarterbacks like Richard Sherman used to be the guy where, like, I'm not throwing there. Darrelle Revis, I'm not throwing there. Champ Bailey.
Thank you.
Charles.
And that's the thing. Like, the Broncos Bengals game. This is a great example. Joe Burrow lit it up. T. Higgins had an insane game, 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase ended up with over 100 yards. But oh my God, the percentage of snaps that Surtain was on Jamar Chase was very high. And then he was only targeted 6 times when Surtain's covering him. Of those 6 times, 3 receptions, 27 yards. So that is a game where it's very difficult to go, Pat Surtain played well because the Bengals had a ton of success passing.
Yeah.
So I think if you're looking at Marlon Humphrey, maybe in the early games where the Ravens are getting lit up, he's still doing his job, but that's a hard thing for, all of us kind of just watching or seeing it on Red Zone to actually identify it and hype up. Whereas Lamar Jackson throwing 5 touchdowns, no picks.
Which is also why, like, your beat reporters and your local reporters are super important because they're the ones who are watching that, and you want them to be informed on the game of football.
Yeah.
Right? Like Perna and I, like, I'll look at the Packers and be like, okay, this is our 3rd string, running back, 3rd string corner. Like, this who's playing, what have you, whatever. Perna's gonna be like, all right, because we know our teams really, really well, even though we're covering the entire NFL. That's why your local beat reporters and stuff like that are going to be the guys who are going to get that publicity out there and say, like, hey, you need to be watching Humphrey because look at the season he's having. And like I said, we talked about him all on Christmas during that game. And he's having and we looked up the stats. I was like, yeah, he's having a fantastic season.
Yeah.
Great night with a bag. Boop for the kitty.
Good. Corner's a tricky one.
They are. This is a great question. Drew Brees is always going to be insanely high for me. His completion percentage is like this. Was it like 70? It's disgusting. Like he completed a lot. And there were many times that I saw the Saints and Packers being very similar teams of being carried by their Hall of Fame quarterbacks, especially when they did not have defenses. So yeah, Brees is always going to be up there. And there were times and stretches that he went through where he was like the best quarterback. He's bona fide Hall of Famer. Like he's one of the best throwers of the ball.
2nd all time in passing yards. Oh, come on. I hate these stupid ass passing TDs. Thank you. Second all time in passing TDs.
Yep.
Brees. Man, and it's kind of like there's these like two. I don't know. His career is cool. It's fun to like try and digest because he's not a guy who you think of as being like because late there's so like the Michael Thomas years.
Yep.
So many quick passes, a lot of
slant
screen production, kind of what Sean Payton's trying to do with the Broncos right now. But if you watch Drew Brees, he had a cannon. His deep ball accuracy was insane. That year with Jimmy Graham was just absolutely nuts. I don't know. I don't know why Brees doesn't get more attention for what he did during his career.
I think it's like how it also went out too. He played for a long time,
Probably just in some of the losses in the playoffs,
And it's also the Saints too, where they obviously after Katrina, and they win the Super Bowl and stuff like that, and then Bounty Gate comes out, and then like that kind of belittles it a bit. But no, like, dude, every time Drew Brees is on the field, like the Saints had a chance to win that game.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that opener between the Packers and the Saints week 1. Randall Cobb returns a touchdown, his first ever game, like just back and forth. And it was awesome to watch. So yeah, Brees always up there.
You like football?
Yeah, I do.
We do too.
Hey, we do too.
We do too.
Another season recap video.
Oh yeah, we'll do more.
Oh yeah. Wow, I don't like any of these, Kevin. None of these ended well for the Packers. Please don't do 2014. Nope. No, you can pass on that one. 21, you can pass on. 09.
I think we were doing 2017 next.
There you go. Which teams officially have their Super Bowl window closed? It's a great question.
The Colts.
Oh.
I mean, for this season.
Oh, okay. All right. Like window actually closed, like the Jets. I think that window's closed at least for next year. I don't see them rebounding particularly hard. The Cleveland Browns, I think their window is interesting. It depends on what the hell they do at quarterback because they have a talented squad. Like if Chubb can come back, which that's an if.
Yeah. I was thinking about the Broncos super window, I think will be officially opened heading into next season. That's when we actually have to be like, okay, we need to see Bo Nix play better this year. Got him on that rookie contract. We can put whatever roster we want around him. That's why I really need him to see this team play well like this weekend. And then even if they lose that first round of the playoffs, they have to play well. Yeah. But the Broncos window is just opening. I was like, that's a kind of a fun feeling.
Yeah, dude. Like that's where I'm at with the Packers. Like if they can somehow pull off a miracle and do it this season, fantastic. If not, they're still the youngest team in the NFL. Give me a pass rusher, give me a corner, give me another wide receiver. Like on day 2, day 3, we're rocking. Like
Commanders might be just opening theirs as well.
Yep.
The Commanders are kind of like last year's Packers. You know? Yeah. And if they upset anybody in the playoffs, they'll definitely feel like last year's Packers heading into this upcoming season.
Very good point. That's it. So Scott, shout out Scott. Happy New Year to you and your family. That's a great point too when we're talking about MVP on like what Allen has to work with compared to Lamar Jackson. No, that's why I was saying like I'm happy with any of the three. I'm happy with Saquon. I'm happy with Lamar. I'm happy with Josh Allen. I think it's gonna go to Josh Allen just because the amount of publicity that's been there. I think it's well earned, but I'm not gonna be like this last year of like, that should have been like CMC's award. No.
I predicted Josh Allen to win MVP before the season because of that very thing. I was like, he's gonna show how good he is now that Diggs is gone. And I was like, they're like the Chiefs of 2023. We're like, there's no stars catching the passes outside of Travis Kelce, and this one was Dalton Kincaid. I also said Jordan Love would be co-MVP, but
close.
Yeah.
Remember when we went to the Broncos Stadium and you said that Russell Wilson was going to get MVP vote?
I said one MVP vote.
He did not. We couldn't.
I felt like that was safe.
Yeah, couldn't even get there. The 4-Pete, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here with your trash. Get out of here. Listen, you know what this is like? And no spoilers. But this is just like Squid Game when it's like, oh no, just one more game where we're all gonna die. No. I said this, and I will say it again because it's a new year and it bears repeating. If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year and they three-peat, I never want to hear from Chiefs fans ever again. I don't want to hear a complaint. I don't want to hear a begrudging of like, I don't care. Nope. You will have won 3 Super Bowls in a row. I will not care anymore. And that is it. You are done. And anything after that, I don't care.
We got it pretty good. I'm not going to lie. We got it pretty good right now.
3 Super Bowl wins in a row in 2025. Yeah. Shut up.
Otherwise, you turn into Tom Brady. We're still here.
Yeah.
We're still here. And they won after that, but we're still here. The lamest chant that's ever been chanted in NFL history.
I go good.
We're still here.
So we're still here is it's still bad. It's still bad. It's still bad.
Oh God.
I don't know why you leave the channel. I'm saying like everybody's sleeping on us. Everyone's not giving. No, you win 3 Super Bowls in a row, and you and everybody know that the regular season for the Chiefs starts in 2 weeks. Everybody knew. Everyone knew they were going to win the division. Everybody knew they got the 1 seed once again. You get to rest up for 2 weeks. And now, and of course, you had your best game heading into the postseason.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's it. All right, James, you got me there. That's fair. That's fair. All right, so the Chiefs haven't even won a Super Bowl. That's just facts. That's just facts. So I like that one. I like that one. So, Perna, what do you got coming up, buddy? What do you
power rankings?
Oh, nicely done.
Got them power ranks.
Also, AFC. I mean, another statement too, because we're complaining about the Chiefs. Okay. If you don't want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, other AFC teams, get your crap together. It's 2025. Get your crap together. Go. You got 2 chances. 2 chances to knock them off. I don't know if it's going to be the Bills. I don't know if it's going to be the Ravens. I don't know who it's going to be. But you're going to have 2 chances. So if you don't beat them, you can't complain either.
They're going to get the fucking Chargers, and then somehow they'll get the Texans, and they'll be in the Super Bowl.
That's it. So, Bills fans, same thing. Lock it down.
I think
lock it down.
Yeah, we need the Steelers
Raven
to
fans.
Win. Yeah. I want them to play outside of wanting Kansas City to lose, I want to see the Chiefs have to play the Bills and the Ravens. You beat those 2 teams?
Hell yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Because I think that's the 3 best teams in the AFC.
Yeah. So, go on and do it. Right. Go on and do it. And otherwise, I don't want to hear any complaining from AFC teams. I don't want to hear none of it. If the Chiefs three-peat, that's your fault. You did not keep your house in order. And Jets fans are like, man, we're trying out here. But that's true. All right, you got power rankings coming out today, brother?
Yeah, power ranks. What do you got?
Predictions. You got predictions. I might do a skit. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Skitty scats.
It might do a skit, but we'll get there.
Do a scat.
Yeah, exactly. Rachel, you'll be Thanos. Yeah, after winning the 3rd Super Bowl in a freaking fracking row, you could go, you could sit down.
Yeah, if the Chiefs three-peat, they have to just sit out a season. I'm fine with that.
Honestly, if they come back in the playoffs, if you gave them the 7 seed, they'll probably still.
I was about to say, if they three-peat, Patrick Mahomes has to go play for the worst team in the NFL, but then that would just be the Patriots right now. And if I had to go through a second Patriots dynasty because of that rule, I can't. No, never mind.
Listen, all I'm saying is that the AFC East, you were garbage for years, right? You allowed the Patriots to get into this position of power. Yeah. AFC West, they're getting better. Take care of your own house. That's all I'm saying.
To watch Andy Reid would say Drake May, that would be interesting.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Buffalo,
bye, folks.
You're doing it.
We appreciate the hell out of you. We appreciate you. We'll see you on Friday. We'll be back for Friday for another edition of GPS as we head into this final. Dude, we made it. It's the final week of regular season football.
everything gets a little bit easier. Well, wild card weekend's pretty tough and crazy.
Wild card weekend is going to be insanity.
It's a busy week, but after that, everything gets just a little bit easier every week.
That's it, just a little bit.
Then free agency comes and just punches you right in the nuts.
Yep. Like legitimately today, Johnny and I, we got one more prediction video, one more 40-minute video that we're going through every single team. And next week is going to be a dream.
Yeah,
it's going to be a dream. But folks, we appreciate the hell out of you.
Yes, we do.
Thank you for tuning in to us all season. A very, very happy new year watching our dumb little fun football show. We are a podcast as well. You can go and check that out. But folks, we'll see you on Friday. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
When you have reached your destination.